Warriors Unite! Back with another episode of Bigger Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hello, my friends. Hello, Warriors. Sunday night broadcast. Hope you guys are doing well and had a good weekend. See a lot of arrogance sitting out there in the NFL. That's okay. What comes around goes around, my friends. We'll see what happens in the long run. But God is great. It's a great day for God, and it's a great day to continue to stay in your purpose, conquest yourself, control yourself, don't get upset with things, and continue to battle on all the time. So let's go take a couple shout outs here, and then we'll do our topic. Let's see what I got left here. Let's see. Derivative17117, thank you, my friend. Raysthill, thank you, my friend. Jonathan Snyder, and Ametalf, Ametalf, thank you. Conscious Healing 1602, thank you. Harold Merriweather, as usual, thank you. Interstellar Cowboy, Superfish, Muggin, some new ones we have. Mystykalmoon, thank you. Ephraimgreon, day 20, congratulations, keep it up, my friend. Jennings, Optical Man, thank you, guys, as always. Tikio, thank you, my friend. Rob had a question about married men release. We'll talk about that a little bit. It's obviously harder if you're married, and obviously you have a wife, and so it's harder not to release. But once again, we're talking about our purpose, warriors, is our purpose is to only release for the purpose of procreation. So that's in the purest form, the monk mode, that's the purest form. So anytime we look at things like edging, we look at releasing a little bit, all that goes against our basic nature that we should be found at the temple of God. And I think that's the thing. Now, we're taught totally different in society. And again, just watching some of the stuff on TV and things today and over the weekend, I try not to do as much of that because it just kind of irritates me a little bit with the arrogance level of people that we see talking and acting out on crazy on internet and TV. So I try not to do that as much because I know that's one of the things I deal with as a problem, is dealing with all that nonsense. I just don't like it. And I see too much of it nowadays, especially with the younger people. So to me, you have to kind of realize that, we all kind of learn at different levels, but we all have to stick to our goals, stick to our God, and focus on that. But anyway, married men releasing is not that easy to do. But again, if you work with your wife, and she knows what you're doing, and obviously in the benefits, you're the better person because of this. And I think any kind of woman would appreciate that as well as time goes on. All right, so at the 3-minute mark, let's focus on our topic. And our topic is going to be something that Brett Adam Music gave us, talking about fire in the sky. But it's talking about sometimes it's hard to handle all the energy. So let's talk about that a little bit, warriors. So on this Sunday evening, when we talk about your energy level, it is not easy to handle all of this energy you have. You have superhuman level. This power is unbelievable, warriors, and you know this. As you guys go through this, whether you're at day 20, 90, 600, 800, I think I'm over, or at least close to 1200. I think I'm over 1200 now. But that always will continue to grow. Your energy grows. Now, how you use that and how it dissipates if you lose it is really up to your choices. But the energy is sometimes going to be overwhelming. And especially when I first started the streak, it was very overwhelming because it's almost like you're getting circulated, so much circuits running into you, your energy level, you could overload very easily. That's one of the reasons why that when people go into this, sometimes they release because it's so much energy and they can't handle it. That's why you have to always stick to your plan to realize that this is a long-term life choice. And what you're doing is you're basically kind of conserving your energy for the things you want to do to become the best person you can become. And this is where we talk about staying on your purpose, staying on your goals. Don't deviate away because of distractions. But you're going to have to control all these energy things that are trying to suck you out. Now, we talk about the physical aspect of this a lot, whether it's women or pictures or anything like that, and you're releasing, but we're not also talking about the emotional. Now, my biggest thing, obviously, is, as you saw a few minutes ago, irritated by things that I see when I think that they're not following God's purpose, and they're not humble, they're not actually grateful, they're just kind of arrogant, and I don't like that. It's something of, it sounds, and I was there, so that's why I react like it was. I react like that very strongly because I was at that point years ago, and I've kind of turned around to the opposite, and hopefully these people will also do the same thing when I watch them on a daily basis. But that's one of the reasons why I try not to watch TV. I try to put myself away from those situations to flee from that temptation of getting upset. So it's not just the physical. We're also talking about the emotional. That's why I kind of separate the vampire suckers, the vampire energy suckers, from the zombies and people who all are trying to take your energy away. They could be doing emotionally, they could be doing financially, they could be doing a lot of different ways. They're trying to take you away from your purpose. So that's why when you sit there, part of this is that you have to handle all the energy in a certain way. And sometimes it could be so much that it's hard to handle it. And that's why you're talking about fire. You have a lot of fire inside yourself. And it's easy to dissipate it on crazy things. And then all of a sudden, now you're losing the motivation. I could tell you a few stories about the physical and the emotional side of not being able to handle this energy. If you're talking about all of a sudden you're getting, your sexual energy is so great that you're releasing all the time, you obviously feel depressed then. You obviously feel like you don't want to do anything, and so you don't want to go ahead and achieve any goals. So you just kind of sit there waiting for the next opportunity to build up your energy to release it again. And that's what I was doing for 47 years or so, to go ahead and do that. And it's a no-win situation. But the same thing happens emotionally, warriors, when you're dealing with people or you're dealing with situations where you get angry, or you're trying to control your emotions so that you're not going to be upset about something, because you lose energy that way too. Now, obviously, it may not be as much energy as you do physically, but it's something you lose emotionally when all of a sudden you're off track. It goes back to distractions. Interesting enough, I teach high school students about taking the SAT tests and different types of tests. And there is built-in distractors in those tests to keep you away from the right answer. The same thing applies with something like this. When you're talking about trying to keep your course, keep towards your God. Don't lose sight of your God. Satan, the evil one, they put out all kinds of distractors. Distractors could be in the form of a thing you see that hits the wrong button and you get upset about it. We all have that. It could be somebody cutting you off when you're driving on a road and you get upset about that. It could be something draining, like all the stress of happening to you. A lot of times it happens in threes, or 3 things happen to you that may not be so good. And so you feel like, man, I'm just going to give up. Everything's turning bad today. Or it could be in a fake of a woman in front of you who's very appealing and tempting, and all of a sudden now you're running off to chase something, and you're losing energy doing that as well. Or a picture, or you see pictures and you want to say, oh, this is not so bad, let me go ahead and do it. But as a few people mentioned already, when you're focusing on temptation, you have to be very strong with that, and you have to be somebody that's really going to focus strongly on keeping their purpose and goals. So this way, no matter how strong this energy is, and once again, it's hard to handle it because you could be overloaded. All the sensations, if you have not done this, and you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s and 50s or 60s like myself, you're going to feel a backlash of tremendous energy when you haven't done it for a while, and all of a sudden you start doing this. The question then is what to do. And with all that energy, the key thing is not to let it dissipate with distractions, but set up goals. Set up to make yourself better. And we talk about this all the time. I talk about the exercise, physical side of it. The Peter Kelder's Fountain of Youth book, which we talk about all the time. Doing those exercises, to get the chakras and the energy moving in your system every day. You'll stay younger, you'll feel younger, you'll feel like you're young. I feel like if I'm doing all this and I continue doing this, I feel like I'm 25, 30 years old. And thanks to a lot of you guys saying that do you look younger, and that's wonderful to hear. But the main thing is keeping on that path. That's important, I think, in achieving whatever goals you can achieve from a physical standpoint. Then you also have intellectual standpoint, making sure to learn about new things every day, whether it's a interpersonal relationship type information, whether it's certain fields you're looking at, careers you're looking at, continuing to build yourself, whether you're buying houses, whether you're investing in things, whether you have hobbies you're continuing. Like in my case, I love old comic books, train sets, all kinds of stuff like that. Or spiritually, which is really the most important, that you continue to focus on God, meditating. After I get done with this tape, Sunday night, I'm going to go and meditate in my house in one of my rooms. So I'm going to go ahead and meditate and talk to God and try to get some feedback on what I need to do better during the week or every day, and trying to focus on becoming the best person I can be. All that energy is going to help you become a better person, and that's the key. But what you got to do is realize you're going to get a big backlash of energy you haven't had. And as a result of that, you got to say, what can I do about this backlash? And the key thing is to funnel it through goals. Now, when you're actually getting some sexual energy, obviously the key is to transmuting it. Once again, I always take one breath, I breathe in, and then switch it, and breathe out. You can see I have a little congestion. So back and forth, you would get, and bring it in and bring it out. And get that energy within yourself, and stop thinking about the sexual release and thinking about how it can grow within your system. All right, my friends. Well, enough for tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sabbath day here, and with God's blessings, hoping that you guys continue to focus on conquesting yourselves and also conquesting things around you, and continuing to deal with those things that will stop you, distraction-wise, from becoming the best person you can become. All right, my friends. Happy you guys have a nice week. I'll talk again. We'll try to do one on Wednesday again. And as I said, we'll try to keep it to Wednesdays and Sundays. If we need to add a few more, we will certainly do it. I got a bunch of lists of several of these that I want to talk about. All right, until next time, guys, 2 things I always leave with you with. First thing, every day, starting tomorrow again, every day is a new day to a great warrior, because a great warrior realizes that they can live one day at a time. And secondly, this is always a continuous battle between forces, evil and good. And obviously we have the good side with the Lord and Jesus Christ. In my case, your God in your cases. The idea is that God, that creator, is leading you to conquesting things around you, and you're following his purpose. You can't lose. And that's why we always continue to indicate how important this is by we have a battle call that we always cry out with. At the beginning, we say, warriors unite. And at the end, I always say, battle